Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are now here on a Friday night, unwinding after a long, well, I am anyway, unwinding after a long, stupid week at work with a lovely beer, the first one of the night, first one of many before a long gaming session, and there's something I just wanted to talk about. Now, the reason this isn't going to be like a news video, and it's going more like the rambling sort of column is because, you know, it's not really covering much news. I mean, the actual factual news information in what I'm about to talk about could be summed up within like a 30-second video, and it would be completely irrelevant and not worthwhile doing. There has been 40k news come out in the last 24 hours since the last video I uploaded, but it's really not. I don't really have any major thoughts on it, or I couldn't add anything more to it than GW or other far more successful YouTubers have already added on their own videos, so I decided not to do that. There is something that I wanted to talk about, however. Today, during work hours, Chris threw me a message on the phone saying, you know, this is good news, with a link, and I click on the link and come to the Gamers Workshop community website. Heavy Intercessors and Flayed ones are coming soon in their own boxes. Now, Heavy Intercessors and Flayed ones were in the new Kill Team box set, the Pariah Nexus one, standalone game or expansion to Kill Team, with these brand spanking new models locked in. Ones that are, from what I can gather, highly sought after by members of the community, particularly the Necron Flayed ones, as far as people I know, i.e. Jamie, are concerned. And, of course, the Heavy Intercessors on the Space Marine side, locked in this box set behind, you know, the £95 or whatever monetary value equivalent in your country's paywall. So if you wanted to get these, you would have to fork out for the box set and potentially a lot of stuff that you're not potentially interested in if you don't really fancy Kill Team, if you just wanted the models. Now, me, Chris and Jamie, we did a video covering this and our thoughts on it, and from what I can gather on the internet, obviously I don't have, I can't read everyone's mind to get like a full sort of census of where the majority of people land on the subject. From what I can gather, the majority of the community went, Pariah box set, £95 just to get these models. No thanks. And, you know, like I said, the feedback and what I'm seeing from the community and other YouTubers is very much the same thing. Not worth the price unless you're super into Kill Team, and definitely not worth it if you just want to get these models. So GW released this article, basically saying to us that, you know, I'll read it verbatim. The recent release of Kill Team Pariah Nexus saw the first appearance of the Space Marine's brilliantly beefy Heavy Intercessors and the freshly updated Necron Flayed ones, and a lot of you have been eager to know when you can add more of them to your armies. We have good news on that front. Haven't even drank the first pint yet. These units will be available in their own boxes in May. Now, we did say in a previous video that, you know, GW would pass them in a good light if they just gave the people who wanted the models of the box set, not interested in Kill Team or any of the peripheries, just a rough idea of when they could expect these models individually. Now, they have done this. Now, what I'm about to say may sound like I'm giving GW a hard time, but you've got to remember is I'm coming from a position where I love Warhammer 40k. I love it to bits. It's a fantastic hobby. It's something that I put a lot of time, a lot of effort to, and I want it to be the best it could possibly be. I want GW to be the best it could possibly be, and I want this hobby to succeed. Now, on the surface, them saying, hey, you know, yeah, paraphrasing here, well, not paraphrasing, I'm interpreting here, because I'm interpreting this article as a response to the community going, no, we're not buying that box set, we just want these things, why can't you, you know, just give us these things? I'm interpreting this as GW's sort of response to that feedback from the community. Okay, that's fair enough. It's good that they've done this. However, people, you've got to sit back and think, you know, they've done this after they've got all that lovely pre-order money. After the people who wanted, fear of missing out or FOMO, is a very powerful, I want to say, psychological effect or tool that businesses use on their customers to get them to buy stuff that they might not necessarily, once they stop to think about it, want. Because nobody wants to be left out. You know, we're social creatures, we all want to be involved, and we all want the newest, latest hotness. So obviously by putting models like this in a box set, tying them to this release, you create that sort of like fear of missing out, because the people who will shell out, the people who have the money to shell out, will buy the box set and they'll get the models that you necessarily want for your army, and they'll have them and you'll not, and it creates that sort of like wanting you. So we said before, me, Jimmy, and Chris, we are all fully employed, working full time, and it gets to the point where sometimes we look at this hobby and go, "Ooh, that's expensive." You know, it's fair enough for some people. You got a larger income, you could do that. It's fair enough, but for them to announce this after, not just straight after, you know, at least a week or two after the pre-orders have gone up for the Kill Team Pariah Nexus, and they've probably seen the most return they've got off that. I'm only just surmising on that point. I'm only assuming. It very much stinks to me of trying to have your cake and eat it at the same time. You know, you want the pre-order money. You want people to go out there and buy the box set, because of course you do. It's your product. But you know, you anticipate people are going to go buy the box set if they love Kill Team, and people who want those models, because, you know, again, people sometimes have more money in the sense. I've done the same thing. I have purchased more Warhammer at some points where I'm like, oh Christ, I didn't need to buy all this, and you know, and I'd say I got a negative experience out of that, because I'm just lumped with a load of stuff I didn't necessarily want or need a large job, and it does have like a negative effect on my hobby. And you've kind of put that in people into that position. GW, if you wanted to be completely customer friendly on this point, you would have announced on the day you announced, you know, the box set and when it was going to be up for pre-order, that, you know, if you want the box set, you can pre-order on this date, but hey, don't worry, if you just want these models or these models, you just have to wait till May, and then you can get them. That way you're giving your community, you're giving your customer base the option. You can be like, you know what, I don't want to wait till May, I want to go out and buy that box set now. That's fair enough. You've made an informed decision. You know, you may still be at, you know, the mercy of FOMO, but you've still made an informed decision. GW, you've fully informed your customer base, your audience. Like I say, I know it sounds like I'm bashing GW there a lot. It's good that they've released this information now, but, you know, when I stop to think about it, I'm like, oh, come on, guys. You knew when these guys were going to be released. And it's taking you this long to inform the community after you've had this kind of feedback. You should be telling people when they can expect these models individually, even if it's a rough date, even if it's a rough time frame. It gives people the tools they need to make an informed opinion. So yeah, I mean, heavy Intercessors and Flayed ones will be available in May. You know, if you guys, if some of you held out and you want to wait for these models individually to release, great. You know, if you've bought the Kill Team box set just to get access to these models, you know, I hope you're happy with your purchase. I really do. I don't want anyone to be unhappy with this hobby, even in the slightest, because, you know, there's so much enjoyment that could be gleaned from it. It's just a shame that GW has chosen to release this information this sort of staggered way. You know, get the pre-orders in first, then release this information. GW going forward, like I said, if you're going to do these box bundle, I was going to say bundaloo. If you're going to do these box bundles, which, you know, are great, there's savings that can be made. We've seen it before, and some people really enjoy them. But if you're going to do this and then obviously lock models behind them to be released at a later date, it would be very customer friendly of you to at least give your customer base, the community, at least a rough time frame when you can expect these models solo. Because at the end of the day, that's just being consumer friendly, in my opinion. Like I say, all this is my opinion. This is why it's going in ramblings, not in news. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you overall happy with this? You know, do you think GW are perfectly fine releasing the information in this way? Yada, yada, yada. You know, let me know. Let me, not just me, let me, Chris and Jamie, know your thoughts in the comment section below. But until then, well, I'll catch you all next time. See you later.